Question: what are you actually doing to protest the obfuscation of democracy during elections? Our public airwaves are used to promote, amplify, and advance particular candidates, yet democracy calls for an equitable approach in ensuring that all perspectives and points of views of candidates are raised, addressed, challenged, and open to the perspective of the public so that the public can be rightly informed and ask questions about what they may want in who they choose to be elected. Our public airwaves are hijacked by the very people wanting to maintain the nonsense that we've been exposed to for every election. So, what are you doing to protest that? If we remain silent in this oppressive action, we as a collective society feels the impact of that silence from the majority. Why are Black people the only ones appearing to protest debates in Toronto? Now, there may be other people doing that, but I'm not aware, or it hasn't been presented to us. We haven't seen that in the news. So why are Black people the only ones appearing to protest debates? If other people were protesting those debates, we'd probably see them in the news because the news loves spectacle. So I'm asking you again, what are you doing to actually challenge, protest, prevent the obfuscation of democracy during elections?
Thank you. Excuse me,
Now you will
sir.
not fix an election if don't put your hands on me. That is assault. You will not threaten to shoot and watch this. Look at this. Get your hands off.
Why is he so close?
This is how. What are you going to do? Are you going to where's the police? Look at this.
Are you okay?
This is how you defend against. Get your hands off me. This is a Canadian.
Okay.
You tell Olivia Chow, Mark Saunders, Brian Bradford, Mitch Hunter, you can kill me if you like the real That is assault. You can't assault a Canadian citizen. Respect the law. I will go with him. Respect the law.
If we can have everybody take their seats. We want to, is there water? Everyone is.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
How much longer? Half an hour, right? What is this round? Just answering those questions, right?
Yeah, audience
30
questions.
minutes?
Yeah.
3 minutes or something? 1 minute?
90 seconds.
It's not working. It will.
I can go to washroom for a minute.
Yeah. No. Yeah. How much time do we have? So maybe 1, maybe 2. Okay, we are going to resume. Everybody's okay. Everybody is safe. Clean out some water. If we can have everybody take their seats, we're going to resume.
I'm exactly the woman Toronto needs. Vote ONNE Renée on election day. You want tenaciousness? I'm tenacious. You want to hold them accountable? We'll make them accountable. You want a city where we can live, thrive, and be? Vote ONNE Renée on election day to get what we need. A world of possibilities awaits us, Toronto. Let's experience the possible. Vote ONNE Renée on election day.
It's about jobs and it's
Thank
about
you,
neighborhoods,
audience.
and it is.
Excuse me.
It is,
We said we said interruptions were allowed if they were witty, and that's just not witty enough. Excuse me, sir. You can't, excuse me, sir. We can't do this. We cannot do this. Sir,
he gets up in front of the media
we
when
cannot
someone
do
gets
this,
shot
sir.
and killed in the
This is
city.
not how we're going to run our meeting, sir.
He condemns it.
I'm sorry, we're not going to run a meeting this way.
It's not acceptable.
Sir,
And yet he does nothing
you've
about
been
it.
asked to leave, sir.
To reduce homelessness.
Sir, you've been asked to leave.
What have you done, sir?
This is not how we're going to do this, sir. Please leave. Please
Would you
leave.
like to tell Toronto what you've done for the past 8 years to reduce
Please
gun
leave,
violence?
sir. This is not how we're doing this. This is not how we're doing this.
Nothing. You're silent, please.
This is not how we're doing this.
For Mayor of Toronto.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
How is everybody doing? Everyone settled in? Hopefully everybody takes off their jackets. It'll get nice and warm. It's a little chilly outside, but try to relax. Should be a very pleasant evening. It is an absolute pleasure to be with you here tonight. I have to let you know that this is actually an area that I've been raised in, and I see some familiar faces in the crowd, which is also pleasant. So thank you very much for coming out to this event and also participating. So the sponsors and volunteer committee, members of the Inner City Union, and Friends in Trouble are pleased to welcome you.
John, does white privilege exist?
White privilege. No, I don't know that it does. I mean, I think that there are people who are left behind, and where I think what they need is a hand up from people of all different skin colors and religions and backgrounds. But I think that's what really I've been all about the last number of years as head of civic action, is getting people involved to give a hand up to build up a better city and bring the city together. And that's what I want to do as mayor.
Now I would like to take the time to invite the members of FIT and ICU to share a bit about their organizers. So coming to the mic is Tanisha and Shaniqua.
Good evening, my name is Tanisha, and I'm here today to speak briefly on Friends in Trouble Youth Initiative. Friends in Trouble is a nonprofit organization that was birthed within the Jane Finch community by a group of residents who believe in the power of their lived experiences to affect and challenge the impact of poverty in their lives. FIT works with individuals and families living with and facing the impacts of poverty and oppression to act as a vehicle of empowerment by which individuals are able to access resources, create opportunities, and lead processes that impact them. Our mission is to address the ills that stem from poverty by organizing and developing community leaders to act collectively in challenging policies and processes that enforce and create poverty and oppression. We seek to deliver unique alternative programming that reflects the needs, interests, and assets of our community. FIT seeks to empower people in Jane Finch community and the city at large. As an organization, we are committed to providing a platform for individuals to develop their identities, find their voices, and tell their own stories. Each individual has the capacity to make meaningful change within their lives. Our organization seeks to develop and nurture the community narrative and empower residents impacted by poverty to be able to address systemic issues through their lived experiences, which will inspire and develop the betterment of our communities.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shaniqua, and I am a member of the Inner City Union. The purpose of the Inner City Union is to unify the voice of the neighborhood improvement areas. Our mandate is to ensure efficient and effective resource allocation, as well as support and evaluate efforts of funders, agencies, and other institutions that seek to provide programs, services towards the betterment of the 13 neighborhood improvement areas. We will identify 13 ambassadors who will serve as trusted liaisons and voice the neighborhood areas. These ambassadors will aid in creating general memberships comprised of community members and agencies and other persons of interest that will assist in community-based asset mapping, civic engagement, which will include focus groups and hosting events that will help foster a sense of unity and positivity within the communities, as well as civic engagement, in which we aim towards creating a voters' pledge database, where we will identify 1,000 youth in each neighborhood. And I would like to thank you all for coming out to support us in taking these steps and towards the right direction. It is my hope that we can see positive change within these areas. Thank you.
Turnout. The main agenda behind the Inner City Union is to increase voter turnout. And by having these all candidates debates where individuals could hear from the candidates, we know that that is one of the steps that is taken to doing just that. We'd like to also thank John Tory, Olivia Chow, and Eric Goldkind for being here tonight. Please, a warm round of applause for them. And as we do know, we are hoping that Doug Ford does come out tonight. I'm going to be very, very clear. Any interruptions from the audience, we're going to warn you. We're going to ask that you please keep your peace because your voice is not more important than everyone else's attention. If you do not listen, we would ask the authorities to please tap you on the shoulder and please take you outside so that you can cool down and then come back in with a beautiful mind to listen. Thank you. And with that being said, would the authorities please assist Renee off the stage, please? I would wait for that to happen.
Shame on you if you're kicking out a black female, in fact,
Please.
the first black female
May I have support
mayoral
from the
candidate
police
in
to help
the
her
amalgamated
cool
Toronto.
down?
This audience looks like me, and shouldn't our voices be reflected on
Officers.
this table? All of the candidates. I notice that Diane Max is here as well, and unfortunately, because of the limited
Wonderful.
access, she can't have a seat here.
Are there police officers in the building? 31 Division,
Now,
would you
isn't
please
that a
assist us,
shame?
please?
Black people calling the police on black people when black people want to address issues that affect our lives.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just one moment. Renee? Renee, this is a community event. Volunteers organize it. I'm going to ask you humbly.
Distraction. How is it that no black candidate, nor me, nor DeWitt Lee, are welcome to this table? We are mayoral candidates in this election, but you have Ari and you have Ari Goldkind at the table, right? I was at the CIJA. I was at the UJA debate.
I've asked once. Is 31 Division present? May I have support, please?
So don't do the same thing here. Don't do the same thing. Everybody.
Thank you very much, officers.
Ari said at the debate on Sunday.
A warm round of applause, please, for the morale to be increased. Let's start again.
But how shameful is it that our audience is calling us and we're saying that, asking us, why aren't they seeing us in these debates? This is organized by black people for this community of Jane and Finch, and yet we're not welcome to the table? And that we're not welcome to the table?
I don't want you under arrest.
If you think that this is an inclusive debate, it is not an inclusive debate. And be sure, when people make commentary about other candidates who refuse to attend, there are 65 candidates running in this election. These 3 candidates are being the same. They're being exclusive. They're not wanting to participate with all candidates in the debate. I have okay, as long as you let me make one statement. Give me a chance. He said, give me a chance. He said, give me a chance, and that's what we should
Officers,
be doing.
would you please assist me?
Unfortunately,
Make a statement. Let her make a statement. Now, be done with it. Let her make a statement.
Diane
We're late.
Max is here.
You need to move
I'm
around
not,
stage.
and she's a mayoral candidate too.
After.
And she's a mayoral candidate too.
Renee, Renee, we are giving you 1 minute, and then we would ask you to leave the stage.
So notice, when they exclude your voice from any conversation, you're excluded from the table at large. You're excluded from the government. So anybody that tries to keep down the voice of a person trying to speak for the people, you need to question why they're doing that. Question, not the people arguing with me. So the reality is,
Right now, you guys all need to excuse
if we allow this kind of discrimination to continue, we are
All right, so
to it.
guys, get her off the stage. Don't talk to the audience. Get her off the stage, my brother. I have already.
This is the statement from Winston LaRose. A leader in this community. His birthday is today, and he's been in this community for over
Happy birthday, Winston LaRose. A warm round of applause for Winston LaRose. excuse me. Please keep the peace. This is not a circus. You guys are acting like you're not adults. Please have maturity here. Problem, and we're trying to rectify it. Give us a moment, please. Thank you. Could she be moved now? Ajamu, we're late.
I don't think the police have an authority to remove the law. That's why I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying by law, we don't want you here. By law.
It's a public place.
It's not a public place. It's a private event with a public discussion. Bro, there's an invitation list.
I'm just trying to
understand. Sorry, but there's a list. We have a script.
She's a mayoral candidate.
But she's not the one that we are interested in.
I understand that.
That's as simple as
but
it is.
The fact that it's being held up this much, if you go through the debate and just let her be.
And what does that show as us, as a community?
It shows that the next time we organize, we have to.
No, it shows that we're going
The officer's going to let her know she's not a formally invited candidate. We're going to let her just say what she needs to say right now. She cannot sit at the table as soon as she, or else we're never going to move
Give her.
forward.
Just
Okay, so just let her.
only you are going to engage her.
Don't address the audience. Just keep focused on what you have to do, because then it's going to turn into a back and forth. Don't let your heatedness take over. Just forget about her and focus on what we're doing.
I understand your position, but at this point, you got to think of the overall message you want to send, which is these other candidates to say what they have to say. She's an added voice for now, she's an added voice. But to have her removed or anything, it will ruin the whole event.
And at the end of the day, we work hard to put this together. Don't let her.
Trust me.
Not the time out, my friend. Please.
What's her last name?
Not the time, my friend. She's a mayoral candidate.
What's her last name?
Dion.
D-I-O-N?
That's correct. Right, if everyone in the audience would please keep your voices down. We're trying to get the solution, rectified so we can move forward today. Thank you. Renee, we need 2 microphones, please. Tech support. Renee has stolen our voices, so we need to return the voices to the people. Renee, I am totally ashamed of myself for not inviting you, and it's a very hard task in accommodating all the voices at this table. We spoke before, and I ask that you do not become emotionally attached to the work, but definitely you are standing for a cause, and I would ask that you speak to the people for 3 minutes, and then I would ask that you maturely excuse yourself, because at the end of the day, this is a democratic process that has been closed now, in a sense where we've reached out to people, we've made a decision, and it's final. I'm sure yesterday you heard about the challenges we had at making this event a success, and we know that you are not going to let your self-serving interests make this event a failure, because you are wise, you are a leader, and we look forward to seeing you in future candidate debates. But today, it's here for the top 3 people. If Doug comes, it'll be 4. Unfortunately, he may not come. Thank you. 3 minutes. Renee.
I'm not the organizer. You just said to me about why is Ari here, Miss Chow. You asked me, well, why is Ari
Renee,
here?
please do not address the other candidates. We're asking you to address the audience, not the candidates.
The point is, first first and foremost, nobody tells me about whose interests I serve. I can speak for myself, and I serve the interests of the public. I serve the interests of democracy. I serve the interests of inclusion, not exclusion or discrimination. Unfortunately, what everybody has been observing in these debates is exclusion, because you only seem to see 3 candidates out of the 65 who are running for mayor. Quite frankly, I am disappointed as the leader of this pillar of this community. Mr. Winston LaRose has said that he's extremely disappointed, which is why he's not here. It is his birthday, but he would have cut it short and he would have been here tonight. He has given me permission to state that he is absolutely disappointed in you, sir, Mr. Clarke,
No worries.
that you organized this event and excluded the only 2 black candidates in this mayoral election. There are several candidates who are here who are trustees in this area. They are here. Please do talk to them. They are black. And there are also candidates here who are counselors in the area. Please talk to them. They're black. Now, it's not limited to color, but when you talk about the area and priority needs neighborhood, and that the majority of the population here is black, they want to see a representation of them on this table. They want to know that they have a hope for the future, that their voices are going to be fairly represented in government and have access. Right now, we're seeing exclusion.
Timekeeper,
they're not
how much time
allowing
does she have?
access here, and even somebody who looks like
1
us.
minute left.
You always have people amongst us who are not for us, and this is another demonstration of that. You also see in media the exclusion of all candidates. Now, people say, well, how do you involve everyone? You can do that simply by a draw if you wanted to be fair. I can tell you that not one person on this platform has stood up for truth. And if you stand for truth, you stand boldly. You see how hard I'm fighting right now? I'm fighting the same way for you in government to ensure that you have access, to ensure that you have a right to be heard, to ensure that you have a seat at the decision-making table that affects each of your lives. Make sure that when you go to vote, don't wait until the 27th. That's the last day to vote. Early voting starts next week. It's October 14th to 19th. You have the right to exercise your civic responsibility, and that is to go out and vote early. And I trust that you remember, vote ONNE Renée on election day. A vote for ONNE Renée becomes a voice for you.
Please. Thank you. Could she be moved now? Ajamo, we're late.
I don't think the police have an authority to remove her by law. That's why I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying by law, we don't want her here. By law.
It's a public place.
It's not a public place. It's a private event with a public discussion. Bro, there's an invitation in there.
I'm just trying to
understand. Sorry, but there's a list. We have a script.
She's a mayoral candidate.
But she's not the one that we are interested in.
I understand that.
That's as simple as
but
it
the
is.
fact that it's being held up this much, if you go through with the debate and just let her be.
And what does that show as us, as a community?
It shows that the next time we organize, we have to.
No, it shows that we're going to.
The officer's going to let her know she's not a formally invited candidate. We're going to let her just say what she needs to say right now. She cannot sit at the table as soon as she, or else we're never going to move
Give
forward.
her, just
Okay, so just let her.
only you are going to engage her.
Black people, why are our voices being heard? Why are
please keep the peace. This is not a circus. You guys are acting like you're not adults. Please have maturity here.